Welcome to Design to the Nines. I'm Natalie Callahan, and if this is the first time we're meeting, welcome to my channel. On today's episode, I've got 5 way cool, dirt cheap DIY decor ideas for you, so let's get started. If you haven't ever seen one of my way cool, dirt cheap episodes before, they kind of are following a certain format. And so my first DIY I have for you today is a Patriotic wood round. And I've done various forms of these wood rounds. I love them because you can get 2 out of 1. You can put something on one side and then flip it around and have something on the other. I pick mine up at Home Depot because they have the best prices and you can do curbside pickup, so it's really easy to do this. And then I have, of course, my favorite gold paint that we're gonna be we'll try that again. I've got my favorite gold paint, pure gold by Folk Art. We're gonna start by painting out the edge of the wood round in the gold and making sure that that's on there really good. And then, you know, if it gets onto the front, it's okay, because then we're gonna take our white chalk paint and then we're gonna paint the front of the wood round and get a nice couple of coats of white on there. Now it's time to stripe our wood round, and you're gonna need some of my favorite thing, painter's tape. If you watch this channel for a while, you know I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it, but we're gonna need it for this project, and I'm gonna show you a technique that will help you not bleed your stripes. You can see I love stripes, and I have a definite technique to help you avoid the bleeding that is inevitable when you do stripes. So the first thing we're gonna do is section off the top third, because that will be the blue portion of our flag. Then we're going to take another strip of painter's tape and find center. Then we will place a piece of tape right in the center, and then we will take 2 more additional pieces and place tape on either side of that original center piece. And then we will remove that center tape because I wanted my middle strip to be red. Then you will kind of use that tape as a spacer and rotate it back and forth until you have stripes. Now here's the secret trick. You're going to take the same white chalk paint that's already on and paint that on all of the edges to seal the paint so that when it bleeds, it will leak the original color. Then you can take your red paint, which the color I'm using is called Tuscan Red, and you will need to do 2 to 3 coats, probably closer to 3. Now, if you're impatient like me, just pull out your hairdryer and help it along a little bit. When it is fully dry, you can peel it back, and I usually like to do this on a 45-degree angle and reveal your perfect stripes. Now it's time to paint the top third blue. But before we can do that, we need to repeat the process. We need to extend those stripes up and also seal the edges there. This sounds a little trickier than it actually is. If you see what I'm doing, it's pretty easy. We're going to paint the top third in that navy blue color. The color name is Ink by Martha Stewart. I only ended up needing to do 1 coat because, as you can see here, I squeezed the navy blue right onto the top portion, and I might have squeezed out just a little too much, but it ended up working out just fine. Now it's time to take our printable or your vinyl stencil. I've got 2 options here. You can do USA or America. I'm going to actually be cutting mine in a Cricut vinyl stencil just because it gets a little bit cleaner look. But of course, if you don't have one, I've got some printables for you, so don't worry. You'll still be able to do this project and it will turn out amazing. So I think I'm going to use America. And now the font that I use for this is called Nocturnal. You can download that from dafont.com. If you are watching from another country, then you can adapt this project for your national holiday and your national flag. Just use the colors from your flag. I think that this is very adaptable to that. And now if you're doing this without the vinyl stencil, what you're going to do is you're going to just take some graphite paper and lay it down, and you're going to put your printable over the top. Then you're going to trace all of the outlines of the lettering, and then you're just going to go ahead and go back in and fill it in with the gold. Now, if you're going to use the stencil, you are just going to lay it over the blue section, and you can see part of the letter A went onto the striped area, and I'm totally okay with that. Then we're going to repeat the same thing that we did with the stripes, taking the same color that's underneath and sealing the edges with that paint color to prevent bleeding. Once that's dry, I do 3 coats of the gold color. Then I let that dry. Yeah, this, my friends, is what happens when you lack patience. But that's okay, because it's a fairly easy fix, but do wait for your paint to really dry before trying to remove the stencil, or that's what's going to happen. To fix my impatient mistake, I just go back and do a little touch up by hand with a small paintbrush. And while I'm at it, this is a good time to do any needed touch up on the sign. Okay, I really love how this turned out. I thought about doing stars up there, and you could definitely do that. You could just do stars and have just stars and stripes. But I really love the gold America, and even though we had a little bit of a hiccup getting it on, in the end it looks pretty good. What do you think? And so all we have into it really is some paint and some stencil supplies. The wood round costs $6. Now remember to hang on to it, because we've always got it back, and we can do dual duty. We've done that in the past where we do one side and then we flip it around and do the other. So that really ends up making this $3 for this version, and then we'll save $3 for the other version. Back in February, I did a pink rose topiary ball that I thought was so cute, and I wanted to do a version of that for 4th of July and all of the patriotic holidays that we've got. I have this white candlestick that I picked up at the Dollar Tree a while back, and if you ever see these bases at the Dollar Tree, snag them, because they aren't around all the time. But I am confident that whether you go to a thrift store or somewhere, you can find a candlestick for a good price that has a similar look and feel to it. I was going to use this for another project that I didn't end up doing, and so it already has the foam ball glued onto it. Then you're going to need some red roses. I picked these up on clearance at Hobby Lobby for $3.99 for this big beautiful bunch. I think it was regularly $16 for the bunch. So that was a really good find. Having said that, if you can't get those, the ones at Dollar Tree, they've really upped their game on Dollar Tree flowers. These ones they have at the Dollar Tree, they're very, very pretty. These ones are much larger. These ones are a little bit smaller, so you're going to need more bunches and you'll end up spending about the same. So whichever direction you want to go is perfect. You just need some red rose bushes. Then you're going to need some gold star stickers. Now, these are so nostalgic for me, because I remember as a little kid, if I did something good at school, my teacher would always take these little star stickers and either stick them on my hand. A few of them stuck them on my forehead, and everybody wants a gold star, right? This is going to be a really simple project to put together. All we're going to do is take our star stickers out and peel them off, and we are going to just stick them in random patterns all over our little base. This is already painted white. If yours is not already white, paint it white first. And then we're going to take our navy blue paint that we used on our last project, and very carefully, because we're not going to go and seal all the edges on that, it just would take a long time, but just very carefully kind of bounce, maybe use a makeup sponge and just bounce on this navy blue, get it sealed, and then maybe do a second coat, because we do really want this to be like an opaque finish. So then we're going to just cut off like an inch of the top of the roses and just stick them in till it's a nice round sphere. This is not complicated to do at all. You just need to shove your roses in. And then we are left with such a cute patriotic rose topiary Isn't this cute? I just love this, and it started with just a Dollar Tree base and then a Dollar Tree foam ball, and I think they come in 2 packs at Dollar Tree, so that's $1.50 for the foundation. And I used all of the roses from the Hobby Lobby bush, which was $4, and then I also added the extra dollar bush, so you're probably into this about $7, and I think it's worth every penny. I love how this turned out. Very patriotic and very cute. What do you think? Okay, so our next way cool, dirt cheap, patriotic DIY is, of course, a 4th of July sign. Now, you will probably recognize this from the past 2 way cool dirt cheaps. It's just a wood sign that I picked up at Walmart for $4.97, and we've used it every time, and I've just been sticking different things on it for each holiday. So this time, I have created a printable for you. For those of you who do not have a Cricut machine, you will print this out and use it as a template to cut out the contents of this sign. Now, if you do have a Cricut machine, we are going to cut out some poster board and cardstock on our Cricut machine. I had this stuff already on hand, but you can find similar stuff very easily, I'm confident. I picked up this sheet of paper at Hobby Lobby, and it's kind of got like a shiny metallic finish on it. We're going to use this on the number 4. Now for July, I have this is kind of big, but it's this kind of shiny metallic blue, and I actually already had this on hand, and it was a poster board that regularly retails for $1.19, and I got it on 50% off, so this whole poster board was probably like 60 cents, and we're gonna just cut off a little section and put it through our Cricut machine, so you won't need much of that. And we're gonna just cut that out. Then we're gonna take some sticky putty so that we can remove it for the next time we have a holiday. And we're gonna just tack it onto our board with the tacky putty, and it will look so cute. So we have now used this little black frame for 3 holidays, and it originally cost me $5, so you split that up 3 ways, and you're talking a little over $1.50 per use now, and we're gonna use it again and then again and again. And that's why I like to use the tacky putty, because then I can just peel this off and use it for the next holiday, and that is a really big space saver. I don't know, what do you think? All right, so for my next way cool dirt cheap DIY, we are going to be making a little Pom Pom and Star Garland, and it's going to be super cheap. We're going to just use some yarn that I have on hand and make some cute little pom-poms. Then I just cut out some red stars out of some cardstock. Now you could use the leftover paper from our July 4th sign, and that would be great. You can really use anything. There's a whole assortment you could use. Just whatever sings to you. Just cut out some stars, and you could use a cookie cutter, you can use a Cricut machine, you can use whatever you want and make your own template and just cut out some stars. And then of course I love making pom-poms. They're so much fun and they're really easy to do, and I just have my cute little tiny little pom-pom maker, and these come in a package of different sizes. I've made a tutorial just on making pom-poms before, but in short, all you need to do is pull out one side of the device and wrap it in a back and forth motion until it's full and the U-shaped area is filled in with yarn. Then you're just going to close that side of the device and open up the other and repeat that process. Then you're going to take some scissors and snip down the middle, cutting the yarn in half. Then you're going to take a piece of yarn, maybe 8 inches long, and tie it through the middle section of the device and make sure it's nice and tight and make several knots. And then you can remove the device and you have a pom-pom. Now go ahead and give it a little haircut and give it a nice round shape. But leave the long strings that you tied around the middle section for now. Now to assemble the garland, I just find the center and I want a star to be there, so I take 2 of my red stars and put one on the back side, and then I fill the center with hot glue, and then I sandwich another star on top, gluing it to the twine. And then I use my palm as a measurement. very scientific I might add, to space out my pieces, alternating pom-poms and stars. To attach the pom-pom to the twine, all I do is take the long strings and tie a square knot and then cut off the excess to blend in with the pom-pom. Super easy to put together. Okay, so this garland cost almost next to nothing. I mean, it's just a little bit of cardstock, some yarn, and some twine, stuff that I already had on hand. I didn't have to go buy anything. I estimated the amount of supplies that I used, and I figured it was around $1 to $1.25 worth of supplies, but that is being very generous. And to be honest with you, I believe that it was probably much less. You could use the stars and stripe and just do all stars. You don't even need to do the pom-pom. That is something I thought about doing, is just using the paper from the 4th of July sign, the shimmery blue and the red and white stripe, but I didn't want it to compete too much with my next DIY. For my last way cool, dirt cheap, patriotic DIY, it's always my favorite one because it's so easy for you to do, and I spent a lot of time really planning to make a really awesome printable. I normally make them 16 by 20, but this time I'm going to also be offering it as an 8 by 10 and 11/14 to add a little bit of flexibility in price and availability to print out. So I hope that that is helpful to you, and it's just my little token of appreciation for supporting my channel, which I am so grateful for. Now, last month I really liked the printable. Here it is, super cute Peter Rabbit. If you haven't seen this episode, I'll link it below. The one that I've got planned for this patriotic one, I'm really quite excited about. Now, I normally print these out at Staples, and they print them out on like a normal paper, a heavier weight paper, but a normal type of paper. And so it comes out really matted, which I actually really like, but their machine was down this time. So I decided to go ahead and give Walmart a try. And I do like it too, but it is a little bit different. It does come out on like a photo type paper with a little bit of a sheen on it. And there it is. And it's the Declaration of Independence with a beautiful translucent American flag over the top of it. I just love how this turned out, and I hope that you like it too. And all we need to do for this DIY is literally just put it in the frame and call it a day. It's super easy, and you get a beautiful impact piece for your home without doing much. Now, the cheapest way I've seen to be able to do it for this big 16 by 20 size is at Costco for $6.99. They will do it. Unfortunately for me, the closest one that has the photo print service available right now is over an hour away, so I looked into shipping it and it was going to be 2 weeks. But you can do it at a Costco if you have one convenient for you for $6.99, so that's a great deal. At Walmart, they just raised their prices from $9.86 to $12 something, I don't know. But it's still very affordable for such a huge impact piece. And then we again use our frame over and over and over again. And then if that doesn't work for you, I do have the 8 by 10 size and the 11 by 14 as an option this time. So it should work for anybody's budget and what they have available as a frame. But I just know that this is gonna make such a meaningful piece. I love it. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I hope you enjoy it too. If you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And until next time, to all of my DIY Niners, bye.